Have you ever looked back at a really tough time in your life and just thought, what was the point of all that pain? Well, what if I told you it wasn't an accident, that none of it was random? What if it was actually a construction site? Let's dive into this idea that all that past sorrow wasn't about tearing you down, but about building the very foundation for your future breakthrough. Okay, let's start right where it hurts the most. For a long, long time, you might have felt completely trapped, chained to a certain fear, a wound that just won't seem to heal, or this heavy burden you've been carrying for years. And all the voices, whether they were in your own head or from other people, they told you this was permanent. They made it seem like because the struggle lasted so long, it was your forever. But here's the powerful truth we're digging into today. Every single one of those voices, they lied. And this is why those lies felt so real, so convincing. They weren't just silly, obvious lies. No, they were clever. They were wrapped in bits of truth. They'd point to real evidence, a real rejection you went through, a real failure, a real betrayal. They took a temporary setback and, like a master illusionist, made you believe it was a permanent wall you could never get over. It was a smart deception, designed to feel like the only logical conclusion you could draw from your own life. And this is the question that flips everything on its head. This is the pivot point. It challenges that whole story of accidental, meaningless pain. Just think about it for a second. What if every single one of those painful moments had a deeper purpose that you just couldn't see at the time? So look at this. This slide really breaks it down. On the one side, you have the lie you've probably been living with. Your struggle is a punishment, and that pain is who you are now. But then look at the other side. That's the truth. Your struggle wasn't a life sentence to be served. It was preparation. It was a training ground. Your pain wasn't defining you. It was building your foundation. This right here, this is the heart of it all. It's the idea that there was a master architect at work the whole time, taking the very things meant to destroy you, the disappointment, the rejection, the heartache, and using them as the raw materials to build you up, to push you forward. Okay, so if your pain was a construction site, what exactly was being built? A fortress. That's what. So in this first part, let's really look at the tangible results of that difficult time and see how every single hardship was actually forging an unbreakable strength inside of you. Seriously, think about this for a minute. That battle you had with depression, that forged an unshakable determination in you. Every single morning you had to force yourself to just get up. That built a level of endurance that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. The constant fight with anxiety, that was sharpening your discernment, training you to see patterns and sense things that other people just miss. Every time you were rejected, that was teaching you a priceless lesson, freedom from needing the wrong people's approval. And betrayal, as painful as it was, it gave you a PhD in recognizing manipulation. So the most important thing to get is this. Not 1 second of your pain was for nothing. It wasn't wasted. Every tear you cried was like water on dry ground, getting it ready for things you never thought were possible to grow. Every desperate prayer, every cry for help in the middle of the night, each one became like a precious jewel set into the walls of this fortress, making it stronger and even more beautiful. So how was this fortress actually built day by day? It came down to habits. Simple, powerful habits. First, the discipline of perseverance, just getting up when it felt absolutely impossible. Second, the habit of connection, fighting that urge to pull away and isolate and choosing to reach out instead. And third, the choice for hope, actively choosing to find something, anything to be grateful for, even when your circumstances were screaming the opposite. These weren't just random actions. They were the daily bricks that built your strength. Okay, so the fortress is built. The foundation is solid. That means the season is changing. You're moving out of just surviving and into a season of truly thriving. And a new season, well, it always requires new tools. And this is a massive shift. I mean, for years, maybe your tools were all about endurance, right? Patience, hope, just enough faith to hold on. They were all defensive tools, just to keep you standing. But now, the construction is finished. The scaffolding is coming down. And the tools are changing. You're going from defense to offense, from just enduring to actively advancing. And all those strengths you built in the fire, they've now become your brand new toolkit. It's not about just holding your ground anymore. Now you have hammers of authority to shatter old limitations. You have saws of discernment sharpened by everything you've been through to cut right through confusion. And you have measuring tapes of understanding to finally know your worth and draw the healthy boundaries you couldn't before. Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. the hammer of authority. This is the power forged in those seasons where you felt completely powerless, to speak truth to a situation and literally watch walls of opposition crumble. It's the ability to look at a hopeless circumstance and speak life into it, to see chains break. And this authority, it doesn't come from your own strength. It flows from the deep connection you built when you felt like you had nothing and no one else to turn to.
So, with this new fortress and these powerful new tools, we're at the final, most exciting part. This is the call to action. The season of construction is officially over. Now it's time for occupation. It's time to actually step into and possess the new reality you are being prepared for all along. This might be the most powerful idea of all. Your transformation was never just about you. The strength, the wisdom, the discernment, it wasn't just so you could feel better. You see, you're not just receiving a breakthrough. You are becoming one for other people. Just think about the ripple effect of that. When people see the peace you have in situations that would have destroyed the old you, they're going to ask why. Your story of going from sorrow to strength will become a beacon of hope for someone else who feels trapped right now. The fortress you were forced to build is going to become the very inspiration they need to believe they can build one too. And that brings us right here to our final thought. The strength, the resilience, and the wisdom that were forged through your pain are now the very tools you get to build with. You've been equipped. The construction site is now a launch pad. So, the only question left is, what will you build first?